Boruto episode 89 review. Alright guys, I know I'm going to be a little bit late on this review. I was celebrating my birthday yesterday. To you guys who actually did send me birthday wishes, thank you to everybody who did. But time for the actual episode review. Now, this episode was a decent episode. I really liked it. It wasn't anything too crazy in terms of like animation, storytelling, writing, and stuff like that. But it was an overall decent, well-rounded episode. I really liked it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys liked it as well. Now, this episode started off with some dialogue between Lord Ku and Inoki, and from that situation right there, it kind of shows you that Lord Ku, even though he did quote-unquote betray Inoki, he still really cares for Inoki, and he wants Inoki to understand, like, hey, you're probably just feeling a little bit weak right now. You don't necessarily know what you're talking about in terms of judgment, so I'm going to take over the reins right now while you rest. And I really think that's what Lord Ku feels. I feel like he feels like he has to be the leader as of right now, because Inoki is not necessarily saying what's in the best interest of his overall plan, which is like weird to think about, mainly because it's his plan. But I kind of understand it now. This episode was completely surrounded around the hearts that was supposed to be given into the other synthetic human beings, and my man's Mitsuki, he pulled through, man. We thought Mitsuki was slipping up. We thought Mitsuki went to the other side. We thought he turned cripple on us, but he's still blood. And a lot of people knew this. Like, let's be honest, Mitsuki wasn't going to completely turn sides on Boruto and definitely go rogue. But I do have a problem in terms of the writing, mainly because it's all because of Mitsuki's will. Now, no one knows what Mitsuki's will is. No one has any clue what Mitsuki's will is. I really feel like they should have made it very clear, like, what is Mitsuki's will. And one of the clear writing errors, and I feel like it's probably not an error, I feel like it's just them being lazy and not wanting to completely explain the whole thing and go into the deep psychological feelings of Mitsuki, is that Konohamaru confronted Mitsuki, and we've seen that flashback of when they actually did meet up face to face. Konohamaru basically asked Mitsuki, like, yo, what are you doing? And Mitsuki's just like, I'm up against the time. I don't have time to talk to you. I'm doing this for my will. And it's still like, what are you talking about? Like, for all Konohamaru knew, Mitsuki's will might have been to take over the Hidden Leaf Village. And for Konohamaru to just act so nonchalant about Mitsuki's will, in my opinion, I feel like it was just a little bit of lazy writing. And the overall thing of Mitsuki's will, in my opinion, is just lazy writing. But I'm gonna say this is up to change. Of course, my opinion might change, mainly because the arc isn't over. Mitsuki's will might become very clear, and all of the actions of Mitsuki and all the actions of everybody else might seem completely clear to us in the end. But as of right now, it just seems like a little shaky writing, mainly because no one really knows to this point what Mitsuki's will is. And of course, the arc being completely based off of Mitsuki's will, we still don't know, and like we're almost close to the end. But I do have to say, the scene where Mitsuki actually did betray Lord Ku, it was an amazing scene. I really love that scene, mainly because you had Boruto there, you had Sada there. At first you kind of thought that Mitsuki was going to stick with Lord Ku. Lord Ku was kind of talking almost like he was Orochimaru, when Orochimaru told Naruto, like, hey, Sasuke's never coming back. It felt a little bit nostalgic, and I feel like that's what the Boruto writers were going for. But out of nowhere, Mitsuki just flipped the whole entire script. He hit my mans with a chidori. I know it's not completely a chidori, it's like an homage to the chidori. Now, I'm not gonna say this jutsu was like anything completely different from the chidori, man, because there's a part of the manga where it actually said that Mitsuki knows how to use the purple lightning. And of course, you guys know what the purple lightning is. It's the substitute for the chidori now that Kakashi does not have his Sharingans. Now, I'm not completely sure if this is basically Mitsuki's version of the purple lightning, mainly because during the manga we can't necessarily see any colors, and of course, for a purple lightning to be a purple lightning, it needs to be purple. But purple lightning also goes by another name and starts with an R. I'm not even gonna dare to try to pronounce it because I'll just get made fun of in the comment section below. It basically said that Mitsuki had that jutsu. Now again, I don't know if it's purple or if it's yellow, but this definitely looks like a chidori or purple lightning or whatever Mitsuki wants to call it. But it definitely gave an homage to the chidori, and I really loved how Mitsuki actually did that. And of course, the heart just uncoiling into multiple snakes, it was freaking amazing. Now, one of the things I thought would be a little bit lighter was how Mitsuki actually betrayed Sekiei. I feel like Mitsuki was like completely cold to Sekiei, man, because, you know, we know that Mitsuki and Sekiei, they built this bond. They're kind of friends as of right now. But in this episode, Mitsuki doesn't care about anything that they built. It's like Mitsuki's just like, hey, I'm sorry, I betrayed you. And I kind of thought that Mitsuki would probably make Seki's feelings a priority in terms of this whole situation, man, because Seki's going through something very difficult as of right now. He wants to know how it feels to be a human. He wants people to understand that he has feelings, and it's like Mitsuki completely betrayed him. Of course, this is something that Boruto specializes in. I'm talking about the writers of Boruto. They specialize in making people feel emotional. Of course, in Naruto, it might have been they specialized in action scenes and things like that. Still, Boruto is very good in that as well, but I feel like the calling for the Boruto writers are overall these emotional scenes right here. Like, let's be honest, some people cried over a synthetic pet, a coon, dying. Now, of course, they're going to dive way more in depth into this in the next episode in terms of Mitsuki's and Seki's relationship. The next episode is actually called Mitsuki and Seki, or it might be Seki and Mitsuki, something like that. But it's definitely going to be surrounded by them two, and I feel like the next episode is definitely going to be an extension of this emotional part. And one of the things I really want to see, I might have brought this up in one of my previous videos, is that I want to see Boruto basically summon Garaga and say, hey, I got Mitsuki back. Not all shinobis just backstab and betray other shinobis. Some of us are good, and I feel like that'll probably be a very good scene. Now, going on to the scene where we actually got to see Boruto and Sada fight each other, I feel like this was a huge scene in terms of the overall fan base of Boruto, because a lot of people know that Boruto and Sada, they like each other a lot, but here they are hurting each other was like a phenomenon. But I feel like this right here is plot armor 101. If you guys have not heard of plot armor before, this is what it is. If this was any two other characters that caught into a genjutsu by Kurara and they basically had to try to kill each other, Boruto and Sada would be dead right now. I mean, like, Kurara not finishing the job, that just spells plot armor. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at this at all, man, because hey, it's Boruto and Sada, let's be real, they're not dying in any old arc like this. But it's still like, you could have kind of written in how they got away a little bit more better, but still, plot armor is plot armor. You kind of understand it. But I really like how Sada utilized her genjutsu. It was like kind of crazy, man, because she used the genjutsu on herself because of the reflection of the actual sword, which was insane in itself. This is where you kind of see Sada improving on her skills with the Sharingan. And of course, we would love to see Sada get her second Tomo. I'm not even completely sure when we're going to actually get to see that. I really hope it's going to be very soon, man, because the fighting scenes with Sada are just going to get that much better when she does learn how to utilize her Sharingan and use it to the best of her abilities. And of course, that'll just make her a stronger shinobi overall. Now, going into the next episode looks like it's going to be almost like a climax, but not really a climax, mainly because Lord Ku is pretty much almost done as of right now. And of course, we do understand that Seki and Mitsuki are going to take up a lot of the episode, but we do understand that, hey, the Hidden Stone Village is pretty much taking back over what they are. The Tsuchikage is free. She's starting to free all of the shinobi. I don't necessarily know what's going on with all the Akuta. They supposedly have thousands of Akuta. They should be like surrounding the village. So there might be a war in the next episode, or a mini war, I should say, because it's not going to be full out. But it's still going to be a very good episode in terms of the action scenes in the next episode. Now, we do understand that Inoki is supposedly going out and he's probably going to fight somebody, which is going to be something amazing in itself, man, because Inoki is very old. We do understand that Inoki's probably going to be risking his life if he does engage in any type of battle. Like, we've seen him use one jutsu in the last episode and he was pretty much winded after that. I mean, of course, he took down 3 Akuta, and Akuta are pretty much nothing to be scoffed at, but it's still like, we understand that Inoki's stamina and Inoki's strength isn't up there anymore, man, because he's like 268 years old. Of course, that's not accurate, I'm just exaggerating, but still, we understand Inoki is old as dirt. But I do want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you guys like this episode? And of course, tell me what you guys actually did like about it. What was your favorite parts of the episode? In my opinion, my favorite part of the episode was obviously when Mitsuki actually did betray Lord Ku, and he basically hit him with the bootleg chidori. But it's been your boy Bar-B, and we out.
It's a knife.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.